a source of energy called Brown's gas. It has tremendous potential in many realms, and we've talked a little bit about it as a source of energy. Our friend is considering purchasing a Brown's gas generator, and as he's done research online, he's found a lot of very interesting things about Brown's gas, including the possible potential to safely and quickly dispose of nuclear waste and produce pure water virtually from air, and also the transmutation of substances. Would you talk about that?
Cindy, we want to talk about science, not science fiction. People, humans have always been about breaking the barriers of what was perceived as being possible and going to the next level. Things that we didn't think were possible then become possible. Do we want to get stuck in a rut? We've been stuck in this petroleum and electronically centralized grid for over 100 years now. There is a way out. There is more than a one way out. The problem is we have to begin to think outside of the box, see outside of the box, realize that things are possible that we didn't dream were possible before. Elements in the periodic table are made up of protons and neutrons and electrons and the subparticles that make up those. They can be rearranged from one element into another element. There are people that are doing this. They have been totally blackballed and murdered and sidelined in every way imaginable because it's a tremendous threat to the current power structure. But we are living in a period right now that is not obvious yet, but is becoming more and more unstoppable. So that this period is a breakthrough period where the control is that the powers that be have had is beginning to dissipate, dissolve. They need to do that because they plan to transition into something much more authoritarian, much more controlling. But as they're moving to this newer enslavement system, there is a window of opportunity that we have to seize as free humanity to say we're not going to go along with this new totalitarian green fascism, however you want to label it, that is just more control. It's being sold as being good for the earth, but it's not. The type of thing that really is good for the earth is the type of thing that can be managed locally, not centrally. The type of technology that, like we've talked about before with Brown's gas, that you can actually have a steel mill in a box almost, that is so scalable that you don't have to keep these huge blast furnace fires going 24 hours. You can get it up to temperature very quickly. You can have small shifts of people that don't have to work 24 hours. So there's tremendous possibility for reindustrialization of America, but not in the sense that we've thought about it in the past, where you have to have these dirty factories. No, these can be decentralized, located in various places. Thomas Jefferson's original vision for America as farmers and a decentralized society that is not oriented around a big city is very possible. We can see it on the horizon with the technology that we now know is possible. We just have to break through these walls in our thinking to begin to move in that direction and to take the stand against going down this new tyranny that's being laid out before you. Don't buy into that. Insist on a decentralized plan. Become familiar with things like small is beautiful. Eric Schumacher, I read it in the 70s. This is Thomas Jefferson's vision made current. Now this book isn't completely current because it was written in the 70s and it's been adapted for somewhat to the present, but there have been visionaries that see where we're going and we need to begin to see that this is the real future, not the fake future of this authoritarian centralized control.
My camera stopped, but there, if you're comfortable thinking about talking about this on the fly, could you say a little bit about the difference between, okay, why would you be okay with changing elements and portions of elements around, but not comfortable with GMO and messing around with DNA and
Okay.
genetic material?
Yeah, the other thing that is another element in the fake future that's very dangerous is genetically modified organisms, GMO foods. And how is that different from manipulating elements from in the periodic table from one element to another by changing the protons and the neutrons and recombining them? It's very different. The genetically modified organisms have DNA from one organism mixed into the DNA of another organism without going through any evolutionary process to get there, and without the type of interbreeding that needs to happen in order for genes to mix organically. What you have happen is the creation of Frankenstein's monster, so to speak. You have strange things like salmon with, I forget what else.
Strawberry mixed with salmon.
Strawberries, for the color, things that basically fool us as the consumer into thinking that it's healthy and it's not. You have genes from different organisms spliced into crops so that the pesticides are built into the food crop itself so that the bugs don't eat it, so that the mold doesn't get it. What do you think that does to your body? Well, that's just as if you are taking that pesticide into your body. These are horrible things. It's not something that develops through means that preserve and protect the earth the way that it was created to be. You don't have to be a Christian. You just have to believe in a creator and understand that this world that we live in has a divine order and a divine purpose in it, and man is only capable of messing that up when we start dealing with the DNA at this level. Another whole element is, we encourage everybody to watch the film about Monsanto called The World According to Monsanto, in which you see that what is really going on with this GMO revolution is they're going for a monopoly of the food sources of the planet. Nothing less than that. They are patenting seeds so that the crops don't produce their own seeds, so the farmers can't save the seed and reharvest. They have to go back to the company to get the seeds, and the company sues them if they don't use the seed and they somehow get some of the genes mixed in, because GMO crops are constantly contaminating the non-GMO crops that the neighborhood farmer would grow. This is just outrageous pollution and manipulation of the environment, of the source of food, the source of life on this planet. So there's a big difference between that and the alchemy of changing one element to another. That there's something very special about DNA that's actually much more complex because of the encoding that is in it than there is in even from going from one atom to another type of atom. You might think that's more powerful, but it's actually because of the intricacies of DNA that we're messing with something way beyond what humans have the ability to understand what they're doing.
Thank you. Great this is supposed to be the happy ending. I know I did that. So make it a happy ending.
There is a new horizon. I talked about it. It's the new horizon is being able to be decentralized, be freed up from the Borg system, be unplugged, but still have the benefits of technology that is appropriately sized, that is not vertically integrated and machine-like. It's very possible. Yet we know from scriptures that we believe that there will be a struggle, but that doesn't mean lie down and treat it as inevitable. If you are a compassionate and loving and creative human being, you owe it to yourself and to the others around you to help create the world as it should be, not to lie down and let the evil and tyrannical forces win. This is about bringing in heaven on earth and about becoming people that are worthy of the divine calling that we all have.